All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are jumping headfirst into a source that presents a really radical and incredibly detailed alternative to our known history. And it all revolves around one single thing we see almost every night, the moon. So, the source material we're looking at today, it asks us to just set aside everything we know from conventional astronomy for a minute. It wants us to consider a truly wild possibility about our closest cosmic neighbor, suggesting that all those ancient myths, well, they aren't just stories. They're actual historical records of a past that we've totally forgotten.
Okay, let's dive right in. The central claim here is a massive departure from the scientific consensus. The source argues the moon isn't natural at all. Nope. It's a deliberate creation, an artificial, completely hollow spacecraft. So let's unpack what that really means, according to this text. Now, according to this text, the moon wasn't just built for looks. It's described as this multifunctional vessel that had several absolutely critical roles, both for its creators and for planet Earth itself.
This is where the source really frames the moon as this incredible piece of sophisticated, ancient technology. It wasn't just a rock in the sky. It was 1, a cosmic lamp, 2, an ecological coordinator, 3, an interstellar arc, and maybe most startling of all, number 4, a planetary warship.
And this is where it gets really interesting. The source reinterprets these ancient myths as literal historical records. It claims that famous legend of the archer Ho-E shooting down 9 suns was actually a documented space battle. In this version, Yi and Chang'e literally piloted the moon itself to destroy 9 massive alien warships that looked just like suns in the sky. So you're probably asking, who could possibly build something like this? Well, the book goes into detail about a prehistoric human civilization, one far more advanced than our own. But their advancement wasn't just about machines.
This is the absolute key to understanding it all. Their technology was based on spiritual and mental power. You see, they had these incredibly developed psychic abilities, which allowed them to purify their thoughts and use their minds to directly control and influence physical matter. And here's how they supposedly did it. After building the moon's skeleton right here on Earth, a group of people would meditate together, using their focused minds to amplify the energy of a pure, high-density crystal. This energy was apparently so powerful, it could levitate the entire structure up into orbit for final assembly. The source even claims this same power could make entire cities fly.
And here we see this perfect example of how the source blends technology with these really esoteric concepts. The moon isn't just some static sphere. Its shell can actually open up like a lotus flower. But it can't be activated by just anyone. The key is a special sword, and it only works for a cultivator whose mind has reached a certain level of purity.
Let's move on, because this incredible civilization, well, it didn't last forever. The source claims our planet operates on this vast, repeating cycle of creation and destruction, all governed by a cosmic law.
So the crucial point here is that this worldview sees destruction as a form of cosmic metabolism. The universe is seen as the body of the god Pangu, and Earth is just like a single cell in that body. And every 100 million years, that cell gets metabolized. It's destroyed and completely rebuilt from scratch.
This timeline really lays out this history of repeated endings and new beginnings. So you have the advanced civilization that built the moon. They eventually fall because of industrial pollution, and the survivors are forced to flee into space on their own creation. Then, the Earth is remade, only to face another cataclysm later, a massive asteroid impact.
And according to the source, that asteroid was enormous. We're talking 25 kilometers in diameter. And its impact was so catastrophic that it plunged the entire world into total darkness for 32 straight years, triggering a global ice age.
So after this incredible destruction, the planet was eventually repopulated. But the source claims this didn't happen through slow, random evolution. No, it was a direct, deliberate act of divine creation. This is the source's wild explanation for why the dinosaurs went extinct. It wasn't an accident. The text states that the asteroid was a divine arrangement, sent specifically to wipe out a race of 5-meter-tall giants who weren't suited for the planet. And since the dinosaurs were created to be their livestock, they had to be eliminated too. So after this big reset, new humans were created.
The source basically says that the story of God made man is literal history, with each major race being deliberately created by a specific deity in their own image. It names Nuah, Jehovah, and Buddha as creators of specific peoples along with many others.
Which brings us to the final huge reveal from this source. What happened to the descendants of those original moon builders after their long, long journey through space?
Well, when the descendants of that ancient civilization finally returned home, they were directed not to the surface, but to an inner world. The source claims our planet is actually hollow, with openings at the poles that lead to a vast, habitable interior.
So just wrap your head around this. According to this narrative, we share our planet with this hidden, highly advanced civilization. They live in 5 kingdoms, powered by giant crystals that draw their energy from the moon. They act as our silent protectors, defending the Earth from alien threats with their amazing flying craft, but they almost never interfere with us directly.
And this is a really great example of how the source reinterprets these ancient legends to fit its whole narrative. After coming back from its interstellar journey, the moon settled into a much, much closer orbit. It was so huge in the sky that the ancients called it Buzhou Mountain, which literally means a mountain that's not connected to the ground.
And this really is the stated goal of the source material we've explored today, to completely reframe our understanding of who we are and where we came from. It presents itself not as fiction or as some theory, but as a brand new textbook for a new humanity.
Ultimately, this source leaves us with the same profound questions humanity has always asked. But after this whole journey through Star Wars, cosmic cycles, and hollow planets, it offers a radically different and pretty mind-blowing set of answers to consider.